What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Just a Tip. Okay, it's such a reach.
It's a reach.
I'm James.
I am Dane.
And I'm Mike.
And this is Mike.
Mike McKnight. Double M squared.
Wow.
I heard it on the streets, M squared.
He's the man, the myth, the legend.
My middle name is John, so we can say
that works
MJ
too. Oh, that's clean.
Yeah.
That's
way clean.
Yeah, that's a good way. He got the letters that work with you. That's fantastic.
Mike here is, you're kind of a local legend as far as running goes. You don't know, but you are.
I didn't even know the gentleman, but I had heard about him through the grapevine.
Yeah. So Mike is
uncomfortable.
So we just talk about you, but you don't know
I might
us.
be blushing.
It's fine.
It's a good look for you.
Okay.
Rosy cheeks to the man well.
I have rosy cheeks now.
I need the beard to hide it.
Yeah, just hide it in beard.
Yeah.
You can hide it. You can hide a lot of ugly with beard. That's why Dane and I just beard up.
I had a big beard a couple months ago, and I shaved it off, and then I have this pointy chin, and I'm like, where did that come from? It's
Super
terrible.
self-conscious.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I've been looking at it all day. I hate it. So Mike here is the, what did we do? What were you? The chief executive?
Yeah. Executive director.
Executive director of the Rods Foundation. So Mike, talk to us a little bit about, kind of your background, what the Rods Foundation is.
How you got involved.
Yeah.
Just kind of a rundown in that.
Yeah. So my background, I'm in marketing. I worked for Ultra Footwear for 4 years.
I have a pair of their shoes.
Yeah, they're good shoes.
Yeah, I
I'm
like
with
them.
Solomon now, though, so let's
Like
not talk about
sponsored,
No.
sponsored
Yeah.
with Solomon. Mm-hmm. That's big.
I'm telling you, he's a running legend.
I know, but
So yeah, let's not talk about Ultra too much.
Solomon.
But anyway, yeah, 4 years with them. They got bought out. They were a local company owned by Icon.
Yep.
And then VF, the same owner of North Face, bought Ultra and relocated us to Denver. So me and my wife, we bought a house there. We moved there, and we lasted about 2 months and hated it. So came right back here and quit my job just like that.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty stressful, but through that whole process, I got introduced to Brady Murray, who's the founder of Rods. And it's just kind of weird how it worked out because he interviewed me for a marketing position for Mass Mutual. It's like a financial firm that he's a part of.
Yeah.
And in the middle of that, he basically said that he doesn't think I'm good for that position, which I agreed with because I'm not good with finances.
at least he shot you straight.
Yeah, I know.
He didn't keep you waiting.
I hate you for this position.
Yeah.
We'll get you something else.
The funny thing was I missed our first interview. I made an excuse, because I was like, I don't want this job. But he was persistent. He interviewed me, and then he offered me the position with Rods, which is a little bit more in my experience, and that's what I've been with now since November.
And going into that, did he know your past with your running history and everything?
Yeah, so that's why he interviewed me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because if you know someone can endure that kind of mental strength in another realm, you're gonna be a kick-ass employee. It's surefire.
Oh, well, thank you. But I think the thing that drew him towards me was ROD stands for Racing for Orphans with Down Syndrome. And the way that they've fundraised for the past 8 years is through athletes who do endurance events, triathlons, and running. And so with my running and my marketing experience, that's kind of why he had interest in interviewing me, since it kind of meshed very well together with the organization.
Heck yeah. So what exactly is the Rods Foundation?
So yeah, it stands for Racing for Orphans with Down Syndrome. And basically the founder, he had a child. It was in 2011. It was a biological child. That makes sense, right? But
His biological child.
Yeah, his biological child. They had him, and they found out that he had Down syndrome.
Right.
And Brady didn't know anything about it. All he heard was that it could be a challenge to raise a child with Down syndrome. So he started doing a lot of research around just people with Down syndrome. And he come to find out that there are orphans throughout the world who are just abandoned because they have Down syndrome.
It's horrible.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. And he found that adoption costs $40,000 to $50,000.
Now is that specific to the Down syndrome kids, or just in
Just in
general,
general.
that's what
Yeah.
adoption goes for?
Well, international adoption.
Okay.
So we just focus on international orphans.
Okay.
Right.
And so he reached out to an adoption agency. They identified a child who had been on a list for years, and like no family ever expressed interest in like adopting this child. And so they targeted him. He ran Kona Ironman, the world championships, and he like came out and said, I'm running this race for this child, and he had a goal to raise like $20,000. And he raised around that much. I don't remember the exact amount. And within about a month after raising that funding, he had a family reach out, and they picked the kid and they adopted him. And
So cool.
yeah, so he
So
found
cool.
that he found that like the cost was kind of getting in the way of it. So he started
Right.
rods, and that's kind of how we started.
Right. Well, 50 grand, that like,
It's a lot of money.
that's,
Well,
that's a decent chunk when
You don't hear about it. Like
No.
this isn't something that the word just gets out there that, this is what it consists of.
Right.
And so, I mean, what you guys are doing is awesome in that regard.
Yeah, it's fun. And with COVID happening last year, so the biggest way that Rods has operated in the past is they bought like charity slots at the Disney races. So the Disney races sells Rods race entries for like super cheap, and then Rods can turn around and sell them as charity entries for a premium price.
Oh, heck yeah.
And so like the difference is what would go towards a child. But Disney canceled all their races last year, and they so far have canceled all their races for this year.
Right.
So we've been trying to brainstorm ways to we're trying to transition from just racing for orphans with Down syndrome and kind of transitioning to rescuing orphans with Down syndrome, and racing is an outlet that we could do that. And then just doing other stuff like jumping a river.
Jumping into cold rivers.
So give us a rundown about the whole 321, what that consists of.
Because that's the
That's the date, right?
That's the
So
one
March
coming up.
21st, 321, right?
So people who have Down syndrome, they have an extra copy of the 21st chromosome. And so that's where 321 comes into play. So March 21st is World Down Syndrome Day. And we came up with an event where, so we made a video of a bunch of our past orphans, and then just advocates of Down syndrome adoption, and then current orphans dancing to a song.
right.
So the 321 event, we're encouraging people to share that video as step one of the event.
Right.
And then step two of the event is doing something around the number 21 to get out of your comfort zone. And so that could be run 21 miles, bike 21 miles, run 21 minutes, just whatever challenges you have, put 21 push-ups. And so me and a buddy in the area who has a child with Down syndrome, his name is Alan Lawrence, and we were just, we were talking with each other. He's big into ice, what's his name, Wim Hof?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's big into that right now. And so we just joked around about doing like not a 21-minute ice dip, that sounds terrible, but doing like 21 people for 3 minutes, just something, but doing some kind of ice dip as our like challenge for that event.
Yeah.
Which is wild because after we did our little garbage can ice bath,
That was our last episode on the podcast
Right.
with Trevor Law, Ice Bath Daddy.
and then you contacted Trevor, so kind of say on your end what you did that
Yeah.
kind of linked all this together.
So we did that podcast with Trevor, sat in an ice bin for 10 minutes, which, well, it was like 11 minutes. First off, entry level is like 2 minutes, but we sent 11, and I was uncontrollably shaking for the next 40 minutes. So it was not overly enjoyable in that regard. But after we did it, I contacted Trevor and was just kind of curious as to how we could go about doing a big ol' ice bath with getting the community involved in some way, and wanted to do it for some organization, some
Right.
way we could give back and just get people involved in that regard. And so I contacted Trevor, and he was like, dude, crazy story. My buddy just contacted me a couple days ago about doing something
and that
similar.
was Alan, right?
Yeah, that was Alan. Yep. And so that from there it just kind of steamrolled. So things just kind of fell into place. And here we are now with Mike here, the
So crazy.
chief executor of Rods.
Executive
of
awesomeness of
Right, he's a cool guy, right? It all works. And so here we are, and so it's going to be 320, so the day before 321, we're organizing a big old polar plunge, and we've got quite a bit of the community involved, and we're going to get groups of 21 people that are going to sit there in an ice bath, and we're just going to all sulk together for a bit.
So you did
Soak
it for
and
11
sulk.
minutes?
Yeah, we did it for, it was about 11 minutes. Yeah, it was about 11 minutes, and then one of my other buddies at the gym, Derek Cox, he came up to me and was just hyped. He's like, "Bro, how was the ice bath?" And I was like, "Yo, I didn't
Ice
love
bath
it,
people
but
just get excited
they
about
were
fellow
hyped.
ice bathers.
Yeah. So
They're like, "Brother, bring it in for a hug." Like, I don't know you.
and so Derek was like, "Dude, we should plunge together." And I was like, "Say less." So then 2 days after, Sunday, I convinced Elise, my fiance, to come plunge with us in the Logan River, and it was chilly. She wasn't going to do it, but I hit her with, "Listen, are you soft? Are you going to be soft?" And that just got her mind, that got her mind spinning all day.
Shame them into doing it.
And so, yeah, from there, it just kind of trickled into what it is now, but I really do love the thought of it, because it is a challenge. And the last thing you want to do is strip down and go get in ice cold water and sit there
For minutes.
for minutes.
And after our little garbage can fiasco, I was like, I'm not doing that for a long, long time. And here we are. A couple weeks later, going back in. It's like Stockholm syndrome. Just going back in for the pain.
So 3 minutes is doable, right?
Oh, 3 minutes is totally doable.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
That sounds like a long time.
But it's wild. Everything in you tells you to get out of there, though.
Oh, I bet.
Like, it's a total head game.
Yeah, you have to focus there on your breathing. All the guys that do it, Trevor, he's got breathing techniques.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm over there just shaking uncontrollably. Yeah, but 3 minutes is definitely doable. And truly, once you get out and you get some blood flow pumping again, you feel great.
Yeah,
You
it
really
does
do
feel incredible.
great.
You get like this nice, euphoric, happy feeling. You're like, I didn't die. Yay, I'm alive.
And to give a little more information on that, we're doing that at 9 a.m. on Saturday, 3:20. So, I mean, this episode's dropping today? On the 15th. So, yeah, 5 days after the fact on the 20th. It's a Saturday.
Right.
We will be dipping. Location, you will know. The people will
It's
know.
pending. It's a pending location.
So, yeah, we're getting people rallied up, and we got a bunch of local businesses that are going to help donate, spread the word, all to be donated back to Rods. So,
And not like, yes to rods, but it's important to realize it's going to orphans.
yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah, you guys
Right.
help with that aspect.
Right, but
so.
I think it's easier to get caught up in a cause when you realize the people that are being affected by it.
Right.
Two of the orphans in the dance video that we shared, that we're encouraging other people to share. At the very end of that video, there's two orphans in an actual orphanage over in Asia, and those are the two orphans that we're trying to focus most of the funding towards.
That's so cool. It's so cool. It's heartbreaking. I didn't know the process. Orphans in general is hard for me to stomach when I really think about it.
Yeah.
Because it's so sad. But then you think about, what happens to these kids as they age, and what their life ends up being if no one adopts them, and it is horrendous. It's just the saddest thing ever.
Yeah.
Will you just give a little rundown of what happens as these kids don't get adopted, what the next step is? Because I don't think a lot of people. I didn't know.
I didn't know.
I had no idea.
It blew me away.
So, basically, I don't know what the age is. I don't know what the age is, but they go to something that's equivalent to a mental institution. And that's where they spend the rest of their lives.
It is seriously it's horrible.
Yeah. So their whole life is orphanage, then mental institution, and that's basically where they die.
Well, and they're such good people, man.
Yeah.
The biggest hearts. One of my really good friends in high school, she had a twin brother that had Down syndrome, and dude, he was the happiest person I've ever been around.
Yeah.
Literally the happiest.
Probably giving you hugs all the time.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And just stoked on life.
Yeah, it really is sad, but you know, since Rod's has been an organization, they've helped in rescuing, it's about 60 orphans. And you know, our goal is to grow big enough where like we're doing a few, like 10 orphans a year, which doesn't seem like a lot, but you know, $40,000 to $50,000, that is.
You look at the logistics, that's
yeah,
significant for sure.
So like the big, like obviously like getting the word out on who we are and doing events like this and like getting people to participate is huge for us. But also too, like currently we have 10 orphans who have anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000 like put aside for them.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's because of COVID or what, but like no families are stepping forward to claim these kids. And I'm sure COVID and travel restrictions have a lot to do with that, but you know, just getting the word out there on who we are, what we do, and that we actually do have current orphans that are funded.
On your site, do you, like, is that information on your sites where people can see like, okay, these are the kids we're kind of working with? And
yeah, we link it to another site that we use. But yeah, all that.
But it's solely like they get involved with your website. They can see kind of what's involved with the whole process, and you guys kind of take the headway and push that process along.
Correct.
Okay.
yeah, it's an incredible cause. Like like I said, I did not want to get back in a freaking ice bath. But for this, I'll marinate as long as I need to.
Oh, I appreciate
because
that.
this is, like just the thought of, like I said, that just like tears my heart out thinking about that. So like, I love what you guys are doing. And we're excited to be a part of it.
We're very thankful that you want to be a part of it.
No, it's going to be awesome.
Something that the founder always says is, like, when you're caught up in a cause that's greater than yourself, miracles happen. And just like that whole story of like you guys doing your ice bath. And
dude, it just fell into place.
I know.
It was meant to be. It's wild how.
I literally came in and I was like, what's happening? Like, how did we get to this point?
Yeah.
I'd be like, Dane, can you explain? Like, Daniel, can you explain? They're like, well, kind of explain what happened. You're like, yeah, that is like miracle status.
I've never done an
awesome.
ice bath
It's
in my
awesome.
life. I had never met Trevor in my life, and it was just kind of a trickle.
Right.
Just step by step. Just
So
fell
hopefully
into
this
place.
blows up and we can make some serious money for these orphans.
That'd be amazing.
And
So
get the word out.
So as an ultimate tip, we always end with an ultimate tip, but today I think we should end with like ultimate information or something. Like what would you say to people, like, so they can get more involved? Like, what's something, like a step they can take to do it? Like,
We'll go over the short list of the event. Like, go over exactly what to expect from the event and what times you can generally.
Just like the dip or the whole event?
The dip. So
The
how
dip.
can people here be involved?
okay. Yeah, how do the locals get involved in this? Sorry,
man,
we're
put me on
putting you
the
on the spot here. I apologize.
It's okay. Well, so the Herald Journal, I have a buddy there. He's going to do an article on it. So, spreading the word out that way is going to be big, but also just like coming to the event. I'm working with Alan, the other individual who has a son with Down syndrome. There's like an actual, it's not a support group. It's just like, it's a group that people get together in the valley, and they all have children with Down syndrome, and they just get together and hang out basically.
Right.
And so he's going to reach out to all of them, and we're going to try to get like a lot of like children and adults who have Down syndrome at the event.
Love it.
Hoping to get something like a DJ or something there.
Heck yeah.
Because from what I've seen, they love dancing.
Yeah.
Just get them hyped.
Yeah.
I love it.
So just coming there and showing your support that way. If you want to do the dip, like you said, we're going to do waves of 21 people. So we'll just put you in a wave and let you get out there and do it. So
And just to reiterate, that's at 9 a.m. on Saturday the 20th.
Saturday the 20th, location will be announced.
Yeah, so you
Somewhere along the Logan
follow.
River.
What is your Instagram?
Rods, you mean?
Well, Rod's and your personal.
Rod's Instagram is Rods Racing, and then mine is the Low Carb Runner.
Low Carb Runner. And then you can follow us if you don't already at Complete Nutrition Logan. we will be posting up, Mike will be posting up
Yeah.
as details kind of unfold, and that will be, you will know soon.
Yeah.
You will know
yeah.
soon.
And if you know people that are into it, tell people hey, we're gonna do a big old community ice bath together.
Heck yeah.
Don't
yeah.
say bath.
Listen-
Ice dip.
A bunch of people bathing together in the river.
So yeah, just get as many people out as you can to come and celebrate with us and raise awareness for orphans who have Down syndrome.
I love it. Yeah, guys, get involved. Let's do this.
Yeah, and Mike, thanks for coming on, chatting about it.
Yeah, thanks for having
We
me.
love to help spread the word, and that'll give us a wrap on another episode of
Just a
Just a Tip.
Just
See you guys.
See you guys.